right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2015 USBC Open Championships. This is Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith live behind lanes 11 and 12 here at the El Paso Convention Center, the first of many broadcasts from this year's event in the Sun City. And we're excited to be back. We have a lot to talk about today here from the second day of competition at this year's event. A lot of questions out there already in the chat room, so we're looking forward to telling you all about the great things happening here in El Paso. Long way to go. This year's event will last 128 consecutive days. Kicked off yesterday with our opening ceremonies. So our first squads of doubles and singles today. Appreciate everybody stopping by and joining us here. Practice is just about done here for our second team event of 2015. We'll have all the details for you and much more as the night progresses, so sit tight, enjoy. We'll have the scoreboards up for you in just a minute. 3 games team event coming right up here from the El Paso Convention Center, the 2015 USBC Open Championships.
Ladies and gentlemen, flash photography is not permitted during tournament competition. Brunswick, we are ready to begin competition. Bowlers, at the sound of the bell, you may begin your event. Good luck and have a great time out there this afternoon.
All right, there's the sound of the bell. Tonight's team event about to get underway here again. We are behind lanes 11 and 12 at the El Paso Convention Center. Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith, and the first of nearly 30 broadcasts from the 2015 Open Championships. And the first gentleman we'll see stepping up on lane 11 is Dan Stricker, a 4-time Open Championships VIP and a terrific salesman, apparently, Mr. Smith, as 10 members of this 18-team group are VIPs at this year's event. We'll get you the details of that program here as the show progresses. If you're curious about the details of this year's Open Championships, you can visit bowl.com/openchamp. Get all the dates and times, scores, check out the lane patterns. Aaron Smith and I sitting comfortably up here above the lanes in the back row of the bleachers. Aaron Smith, how are things going down on your end of the bleachers?
It's going all right, Matt. Glad to be back here on Bowl TV with everyone here at the 2015 USBC Open Championships. Can't believe we got another year going here, so it's exciting. We get our first look at the team event. We already have some scores in. I think you have the latest recap, so.
Well, we do have the team standings from yesterday's team event and opening day. Big festivities here at the Convention Center. Amigo Man, your very good friend, led out the opening squad. We had some dignitaries, live entertainment, and 48 teams of more than 7,000 headed our way this year in 2015. And at the top of the leaderboard, Al's Pro Shop 2 from Mazeppa, Minnesota, 2671. So not a huge score on opening day. But we're still a long way from being able to gauge what kind of scores we're going to be looking at here in 2015. I know the experts are hard at work trying to analyze and guess what these lane conditions are going to give us here in 2015. Again, if you'd like to check those out, you can visit bowl.com/openchamp. Click on the live stream link, or the lane conditions link, and you'll be able to see those graphs and watch the video where PBA star and Team USA member Chris Barnes gives you his insight. But for now, we're going to watch some bowling balls go down the lane and talk about some of our great programs and all the great things here inside the El Paso Convention Center. And Mr. Smith, I think we need to set up kind of a swear jar of sorts and see how many times we say Reno. We were in Reno the last 2 years, did nearly 60 broadcasts from the National Bowling Stadium.
And the Reno Sparks Convention Center. Don't forget the ladies, man.
Never forget the ladies, Mr. Smith. We've taken our show on the road to El Paso, the very first visit for the Open Championships in 112 years of competition. 4th trip to the Lone Star State, last one coming in Corpus Christi in 2006. And we've seen so much Southwestern flavor so far, and it's just day 2 here at this year's event. Kicked things off nicely yesterday and got the crowd going, and bowlers very excited. Right now, this group, 18 teams led by Jim Costello, hard-working team captain. You see each team dressed alike, names on their shirts, taking pride in their appearances here, as they do every year. Mr. Costello getting the job done. He was a featured team captain this year in one of our championships newsletters. And we'll tell you more about the Captain's Club later on as well.
Nearly the 4-6-10 conversion for John Nearl there. Kept the 6-pin on the deck, but just not enough oomph to get the 4 out.
All right, Mr. Smith, this is our very first broadcast. Again, so much to talk about. Where do we start? Obviously, the folks at home are watching 2 talented teams. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't be sitting up here showing off their skills. They like to bowl early and make a run at the leaderboard. Who doesn't want to see their name on their leaderboard after competition? But first things first, number 1, brand new schedule here in 2015. I think a lot of folks are really going to enjoy the fact that they don't have to be here before the sun rises, and they don't have to be here bowling, well, until the sun rises. New squad times this year, doubles and singles will be at 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Team events at 5 o'clock and some days at 8:30. And other days that 8:30 will be a doubles and singles squad. So you don't have to be here early. You don't have to stay too late. That gives you more time to get out and about and enjoy everything that El Paso has to offer.
And if you're not signed up yet for the 2015 Open Championships and you want to make your way on out here to Sun City, still a few opportunities. The entry deadline has been extended. So if you got 5 guys or gals who want to come out here, maybe even 10 still, check bowl.com/openchamp to see about what dates are still available. And let's say if you don't have a team, Matt, we got a new program out as well, the Free Agent Squad. You can read about that more on bowl.com/openchamp. We've got a few select dates, about 1 or 2 each month, and we're saving some spots. And if the teams or folks are looking to just join a team so they can bowl out here and experience this amazing venue, they can get matched up and find folks all over the country to join them.
Yeah, we'll do the work for you. Certainly would appreciate having you guys here and showing off the venue and the city. A lot of folks tell us, when we ask, well, how come you don't bowl the Open Championships? How come you haven't before? We say, well, nobody asked. And now, we're willing to help you out. So check that out. The Free Agent Squads, we'll have that again in 2016. Good chance to meet some new people and eliminate the nobody asked me factor. So we do appreciate everybody joining us here on Bowl TV. 243 watching live, and a lot of great questions and comments already in the chat room, and we're glad to address those for you along the way. Just going to go back to the top and see if we missed anything good earlier on. The venue this year, the largest build in Open Championships history, 62 lanes. We have 52 here for the main Open Championships and 10 showcase lanes available for the Bowlers Journal Championships presented by USBC and your team practice sessions. Of course, Mr. Smith, the showcase lanes introduced in 2012 and have become a huge part of the Open Championships landscape. And a lot of these bowlers we're watching right now here on lanes 11 and 12 spent some time on the showcase lanes with their various practice sessions and taking advantage of the Bowlers Journal Championships being on site for the 3rd consecutive year. It could not be more convenient.
Yeah, with all those VIP packages, those guys got a few chances to come out here and practice a little bit. Looks like they had a strategy of playing a little bit outside. We'll see how that pans out over the course of the day. But yeah, the VIP package certainly a solid chance to take advantage of some great opportunities here. We'll do a quick rundown of what you get for $229.95. 2015 Open Championships VIP Performance Jersey. It's actually got a chance to see a few of those. Look pretty nice. Of course, the practice session, a Bowlers Journal singles entry, as well as an entry into the 40-frame game over at Fiesta Lanes, not too far away from the Convention Center downtown. 1110 is a big fan of Matt, the VIP locker access. You get unlimited access to the lockers on the tournament site.
Well, especially now with our side event, Bowlers Journal, right here under the same roof, and the practice session, it could add up going in and out of those lockers, and it almost pays for itself there. I know Dan Stricker, again, 4-time VIP, and one of the most popular features, and he's been here for a couple days already, and that locker certainly getting some use.
And along with all that, you also get a VIP photo package along with a Bowling Ball Express discount. So those are the perks this year in the VIP. Folks going back and forth about the patterns here. The team pattern, 38 feet in length with 26.9 milliliters for the volume. Doubles and singles a foot longer, 39 feet. And just a touch more in the oil, 27.05 for the volume. Nice shot by Randall Buddha of AMF Co. 1. Get you a quick rundown of the entire lineups here. James Fugit and Jim Costello, the group coordinator. Devin Braun and Jerry Ankenbrandt. For Baja Betty's 1, we see Dan Stricker up there, our 4-time VIP, followed by Brian Royer, Craig Schneider, John Earl, and Robert Raymond. Stricker clean through 3. And a few strikes in a row here for AMFCO. Looks like they're loosening up a little bit here. So it looks like Matt Cannizzaro is taking care of the social media aspect here. And if y'all could, see I said y'all there, Matt, please share on your social media as well. You can follow USBC and several different outlets. You can follow the sport of bowling on Facebook at facebook.com/USBC, on Twitter at USBC. If you're so inclined, you can follow Matt and I on Twitter at USBC Matt and at USBC Aaron. Matt has a Facebook page too, but I'll let him throw that out there since that's his thing.
Well, if you'd like to find me and some of the behind-the-scenes details about the Open Championships, you can find me at Matt Cannizzaro USBC on Facebook. I certainly appreciate all the support. And right now, we're going to support everybody in the chat room and try to answer a few questions, Mr. Smith. We'll start off by talking a little bit about the venue. 65 days ago, this was an empty room with concrete floors and 4 walls, and that was it. And 40 truckloads of materials rolled in, starting with our one-of-a-kind scoreboard, the world's largest mobile scoreboard, and the superstructure custom built to hold it up for us. The first thing in place here at the El Paso Convention Center. Everything else built around it. Again, 62 lanes wall to wall here, plus office and vendor space, locker room, squad room, concessions area, and a lot going on here. The El Paso folks setting up a cantina and a lot of great food here inside the convention center. Nowhere, you don't need to go anywhere else. But all of the lanes, machines, and pins are brand spanking new, brought in by our official lane provider, Brunswick. And with help from Lou Trunk, the #1 mechanic and lane installer in the business. Everything maintained better than anywhere else in the world, I'm sure. And when it's all said and done, all these lanes and machines will go off to bowling centers around the world, and some lucky folks will have a piece of the 2015 Open Championships. But right now, we're getting ready to welcome nearly 40,000 bowlers to Sun City before we're done here on July 12th. So these lanes will get about 2.5, 3 years worth of use in just a few months.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. We've been all over El Paso so far. The local coverage has been great. And think about just all the amount of games these lanes are going to see over the course of the next 4 months. Lou Trunk and his crew, very impressive rate as far as inconveniencing bowlers over the course of his many builds, and really do a great job here. Of course, the managing director of the national governing body, Neil Stremmel, some great things to say about the venue in our pattern release video as well. Really providing a future for the sport by bringing such great events to all our members.
I did see a note earlier about the scoreboards, and these have been with us since 2009. They made their debut at Cashman Center in Las Vegas, and then went on to the USBC Women's Championships here in El Paso in 2010, then Syracuse in 2011, and we had them again for the Open Championships in Baton Rouge back in 2012. Of course, 13 and 14, we're at the one-of-a-kind National Bowling Stadium in Reno, and now we're getting ready to spend some time in the coming years in a brand new $35 million facility in Las Vegas. So looking forward to that. The Women's Championships will be the first held in that facility next year. But still a long way away. We're only on day 2 of this year's Open Championships, and this year's WC set to kick off on April 10th. Mr. Smith will be there in person to bring you the news from that event. Still time to register for all you ladies out there. And if you'd like to bring along a friend or two, the USBC Mixed will make its debut alongside the Women's Championships. 4-player teams, 2 men, 2 women, and then of course mixed doubles and a singles option also. So if you're a competitive bowler, there's a lot going on here in 2015. But right now it's all about the Open Championships here in El Paso. First visit to Sun City. Again, we're watching part of an 18-team group. You just saw on lane 11 Jim Costello, the man who did all the work to put this group together. Spends a lot of time, many hours, collecting information, collecting money. And Aaron's curious. He's looking, what does he get for all of his hard work? In recent years, we've added the Captain's Club to the Open Championships experience. It is another level of the VIP experience, but for hard-working team captains with 6 or more teams, and this is valid for the OC and the Women's Championships and the mixed event. But the Captain's Club member, aside from worldwide fame and the potential for being on Bowl TV, Mr. Costello has received a premium USBC Captain's Club polo. Prior to his arrival, he received a bag tag for his luggage to head this way. He received a 2015 Captain's Club messenger bag. Jim also will get the Bowling Ball Express discount, $25 in each direction. Commemorative photo package, a $25 restaurant voucher. That's worth the hard work right there. Captain's Club captains also receive special locker access, again with so many things going on under one roof. A very valuable addition to the program there. And Jim also was able to enjoy 1 singles entry into the 40 frame game, a longtime partner of the USBC Open Championships. 18 teams, nearly 100 bowlers. There's a lot of time and a lot of money, and we thank Jim for all of his hard work.
And all the captains out there as well. It's Matt, you've had a few teams over the years. I have as well, and had to coordinate everything and kind of plan out a trip for a lot of folks. Definitely deserves the recognition, so we're happy to give those folks a little token of our appreciation for all their hard work.
All right, again, the new schedule this year, team event, 5 p.m. That's what you're watching right now. We did have just a few minutes setback as we waited for our custom painted Kegel Patriot Flex lane machines to oil these 52 lanes. Cool thing about the lane machines at this year's event, there's only 13 in existence. Is the top of the line Kegel Flex. Of course, Kegel, our lane maintenance provider. They had 13 machines airbrush painted by a gentleman in Florida. We'll have 5 of those machines here, some at the Women's Championships as well. And when those events are over this summer, the machines will be sold or auctioned off, with the proceeds going to benefit Folds of Honor. And that organization supports military families and their children to get the help they need, perhaps with education and other items. So glad to be a part of that. Always nice to see things for a good cause. And we do have a video and some pictures of those fancy machines on our Facebook page, so check it out, the official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page. A lot of great information there, and some more behind the scenes things that you can only see if you like the page.
That's true, and also obviously talking a lot about Kegel there, one of our gold industry partners here. Also want to thank Columbia 300, Hammer, and Storm. As you can see, we got our gold partners logos just underneath the scoreboard this year, a little bit different from 2013 and 2014, so we hope you like it. Definitely like showing off those masking units, though. Great job by Brock Kowalski and the creative team making those happen, and of course Greg Moore and his staff for putting them and this whole place together. So we talked about a little bit earlier, just fantastic build overall here, the biggest in USBC Open Championships history. And we hope all of you are looking forward to joining us here in Sun City.
Well, Aaron, we got some big names in the chat room today. I feel humbled by the attendance. Bowling rider Mark London, nearly a live stream sensation in 2014. Rolled a 299 game live on Bowl TV. Almost got there. And he is joined today by former Major League pitcher John Burkett, checking things out. John now eligible for the PBA Senior Tour, so really spending a lot of time on the lanes, getting ready for those great events. Old friend of mine from back in the day, Jeff DeMonk, big supporter and always helping us out on the message boards and on Facebook, getting the word out about the event, answering some questions for us. Certainly nice to see so many people checking out our first broadcast. If you want to check out the schedule, you can check out bowl.com/livestream, or if you go to the Open Championships page, we posted everything for the year, including our trips to the Women's Championships. You can find that in the news carousel. Just look for the picture with the 2 handsome gentlemen in headsets. Click on that and it'll get you all the details of this year's live stream schedule. More than 7,000 teams headed our way and plenty of room for more. So check out bowl.com if you'd like to come our way. Aaron Smith, how'd your situation turn out? Is it time to auction off a spot to bowl doubles with Aaron Smith?
It was looking like that for a little bit there, but we're able to get everything situated with a group back from my neck of the woods in Indiana, so looking forward to that. I think I'll be leaving you out of the live stream booth that day. I think I drew the same squad as some guys who shot like 37 something last year. So that's should be exciting. So you can update everyone because that's what they'll really be concerned about, is how well I'm doing out there. While got the cameras on Zeno Garcia, Ted Pritz, Anthony Lavery Spar, Jimmy McMartin, and Pete Thomas. Artistic Expressions 1 coming back April 14th. Put their title up on the line. Banners hanging here. Certainly an exciting thing for all those guys. Made a run in Baton Rouge back in 2012. So I think they might be looking forward to not only seeing that, but being back in a convention center setting. That group seemed pretty comfortable.
We definitely had
that setting, yeah.
A lot of great moments in 2014. Highest team score in history. We got to see Anthony the Caz take home the all events title. Back-to-back titles for him, so he'll be looking to grab a piece of history this year and become the second bowler in 112 years to win titles in 3 consecutive years. Of course, Janss's HI. Team all events winners. Been close many times before. Finally got it done. Had a long wait. But, very excited to come back here. And then another big story in 2014. Lewis Jenkins Jr. struggled in doubles. Shot in the 520s. Came back in singles. Same pair of lanes. Things just came to him. Shot 826 to take home the regular singles title. And then in doubles, 1465. Father and son, Carl and Clark Polzer from Minnesota. And we'll see all of those folks on Bowl TV this year as they put their titles on the line here.
All in April as well, too. Of our defending regular champs picking the same month, the Bowl, so maybe there's something special. April showers bring Eagles?
Well, certainly it makes it easier for us to sell to the media. April will be Champions Month here at the 2015 Open Championships. And once again here in 2015, 2 different lane conditions. Aaron mentioned those earlier. You can find the details at bowl.com/openchamp. That tradition now goes back to 2013. The introduction of 2 patterns, a true test of versatility and a chance to see both patterns on the exact same lane surface, same oil, and in the same room, essentially. Here you can get yourself a team practice session on the team pattern over at the showcase lanes, or see the doubles and singles pattern at the Bowlers Journal Championships. I know this sounds an awful lot like a USBC commercial, but there's just so much to talk about and so many things going on here that we want everybody to know before heading to El Paso. And again, a lot of great questions coming through in the chat room. So we're glad to provide that information. You guys, of course, I'm sure many of you have tuned in to see the bowling balls go down the lanes. What kind of shape, what kind of surface, what kind of balls. And we don't need to tell you because you can see all that. So we have plenty of time to talk about other things. Again, after just one team event, we had our opening day yesterday. The first 48 teams took the lanes. Top score 2671. Games of 850, 893, and 928 for Al's Pro Shop 2. And we've got a pretty talented group here. We've had an opportunity to bowl with and against many of these players, as a matter of fact. Dan Stricker, a good friend going back a few years, a 4-time VIP, taking advantage of all that program has to offer, and that included a practice session on the showcase lanes, and those guys were here bright and early. I'm trying to get an idea, get a game plan down. Mr. Smith in league back home in the Dallas area. We saw Randall Buda. He's about to step up on lane 12. We saw him start the night with 23 consecutive strikes one time on our Thursday night league. Had games of 300 and 299. And seen him bowl some events around the state. And very talented player there. Jerry Ankenbrandt, sorry, we bowled some events. Actually beat him for a title at one. And always a contender. So I think if you're here to see ball motion and get an idea, this is certainly a good group to give you at least a starting point as you all develop your own personal strategies and you get to practicing for this year's event. Of course, you'll have to make good shots and make your spares as Mr. Stricker tests the out of bounds with the washout there. Aaron, I think we've educated everybody so well. I see some of the folks answering each other in the chat room and on Facebook. So we must be doing something right. The information is out there. Great shot there by Stricker, cleaning up that washout. Still looking for his first strike here in 2015.
Social media has certainly gotten folks excited about this tournament coming up, and a lot of questions coming in when the pattern was coming or going to be released, and obviously we got that to you a few days before we kicked off here. And
terrific video put together by Jason Thomas, formerly known as the Bowling Guy, with some assistance from PBA star Chris Barnes, giving you the lay of the land a little bit. Give you a chance to see the patterns and get some advice. Then it's time to do your homework and practice. Believe it or not, the best way to succeed at the Open Championships is to practice and come out here and make your spares. There's no secret formula, unfortunately.
It's definitely not sitting behind the cameras.
Well, that's why we sit behind the cameras. I've accepted my role in the bowling world, and this is it. Bringing the news to you and the live action from the El Paso Convention Center. Once again, this is Matt Canizar and Aaron Smith back on the air at the 2015 USBC Open Championships. We caught up with you guys a couple times throughout the year at various events, collegiately, and some of our senior events. And the structure and format a little bit different here, giving us a chance to do some homework and learn a little bit more about the players and what they've accomplished here. And we'll be here the entire 3 games of this team event. We're nearing the end of game number 1 already. Feel like we just got underway. Just day 2 of this year's event. 128 consecutive days of competition. And based on the statistics, I think just about 125 of those days will be bright, sunshiny days here in El Paso.
El Paso, we've mentioned it a few times, Sun City, on average 300 to 310 sunny days a year. We already had a few of the rainy days, Matt, during our orientation last week. So we got those out of the way for you. We took the brunt of it, so you guys will have some nice sunny weather to go check out the El Paso Chihuahuas right next door, the AAA affiliate of the San Diego Padres. Got a chance to, haven't been inside the stadium yet, we got a chance to walk around and talk to a few folks, though. They're very excited about being so close to the Open Championships. The venue could be hit by a foul ball, possibly, if someone really got a hold of one. And oh, maybe not. Okay, I'm trying to think of a way where that would work, but that might not happen. But it's close enough to consider it like that. And man, I know you're a fan of the food. And
Is that a fat joke, Mr. Smith?
no, I just know you're.
Like just food in general, or the food here in El Paso, inside the venue? Because I did have a fantastic breakfast burrito at the cantina, lane side today.
So is the answer yes to all three?
Of course the answer is yes to all three. You got to stick with what you're good at. And that's a very short list. But yes, folks, coming this way, the Southwestern cuisine will be a big part of your trip to El Paso. With the new schedule, plenty of more time to get out and about. And we made our first trip to Cattleman Steakhouse just the other day. Had a nice light dinner. Took down a 2-pounder, some all-you-can-eat baked beans and coleslaw. That'll make any day better, whether you're celebrating a solid performance on the lanes or trying to eat away your sorrows.
And you know where the leftovers go now, so had a cool window seat. And of course the premise for the Kettleman Steakhouse, it's basically a ranch. They have animals, a lake, and really something to check out if you got a few hours to your trip here. But we actually got to see a coyote walk up, and he had a light snack there. I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but if you weren't finishing off that 2-pounder, it seemed like he was looking that down through the window at you.
So I'm over here chuckling a little bit because I'm reading the comments in the chat room, and some folks reminiscing about our time together at the Open Championships. And this is tournament number 11 for me, and I've had a chance to see a lot of success and see some unfortunate collapses on the scoreboard as well. But we're talking dinner and coyotes, and everyone's talking strategy and game plans, and just so many things going on here. But we do thank everybody for tuning in regardless. Even if you did turn on the mute button just to watch bowling.
Yeah, we're almost 500 strong here live right now, so thanks again for tuning in to Bowl TV.
But I'm reading the chat room, and I don't sound like a very nice person. I got Sean Petty. Matt messed up my first 2,000 all events total last year when he came down with the videos.
Way to go, Matt.
I know it. Ben Leong. Matt messed up my 750 for singles. But that is certainly the measurement of success here at the Open Championships. I tell this story year after year. But for my good friend John Gaines, the goal is to get your picture taken at the Open Championships. That means you did something, you found success. So it's not a bad thing when you see us coming with the camera. It means it's your turn. And if you're going to find your way into the record books, you're going to have to step up on the big stage and perform with the bright lights and the cameras on you. You have to earn it. We're not there to take it away. We're there to show the world. But it's good to get nervous. That means
Something's going right.
That means you understand the prestige, the history, and the tradition of the event, and what it would mean to finish the task. And the only reason we're there is because the world wants to know. And we don't mind folks checking in. You can find us again on Facebook and Twitter. We're glad to answer any questions about anything, really. I know yesterday our good friend and former co-worker here at the Open Championships, Chip Akey, was bowling in a PBA regional in the National Bowling Stadium in Reno. Bowled very well. He was the top qualifier, but somebody got a little confused and thought Chip was bowling here on opening day, and thought that he had set the bar astronomically high, and wanted to see what the numbers were like and how Chip did, and had no problem setting the thing straight there. But, Chip went on to win that regional, many thousands of miles away, however.
I think he likes the National Bowling Stadium. Any better, he's going to be spending some time there this year as the tournament manager for the Women's Championships, along with the new USBC Mixed, running alongside there.
Yeah, a few changes overall, and a lot of excitement. Some new things, some different things. Talked about the new schedule a little bit here in El Paso, and the USBC Mixed out there in Reno under the guidance of Mr. Aki. Mr. Smith and I will be here for the duration of the 2015 Open Championship. So if you're ready for your interview, cameras charged, tripods are out. I have no problem telling your story on bowl.com.
All right, we're already in the foundation frame here in game number 1. Strike for Randall to sub a double for the 10th. Let's see if Dan can notch a double of his own here. Pair to our left, Scott Gasser, it looks like. Team out of Billings, Montana, starting off pretty well. Can go 256. So he gets ready to step up for the 10th in a moment here. Nice shot by James. Yes, Mike Jones in the chat room. I do know your brother Charlie Jones very well. Bowled many leagues with him back in Northwest Indiana, so next time you see Charlie, give him a yes sir for me, and he'll know what you're talking about. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Some folks are pulling for Brian Royer there to get that first strike. Took care of it right there. So there you go, Brian. Actually, I think this is Brian's very first tournament. So not only do you have the nerves of marching down center aisle for the very first time and experience this whole grand setup, but get to have Matt Cannizzaro watching over you as well. It's got to be intimidating. So there you go, Brian. Let's see a few more after that.
Well, I did have a chance to give a few of these gentlemen a tour of the venue, some behind-the-scenes looks, especially as first-timers. You could already see the nerves, and when we took that first walk down center aisle, even for me, getting the goosebumps, it never goes away. It's just one of those things that even 50, 60 years later, the bowlers talk about, you know, that moment that you come through the curtain. It changes everything, and I think maybe getting to see the venue a little bit, even before competition started, helped out a little bit. But this is a very experienced group. Again, 18 teams led by Jim Costello, a very hard-working captain. Dan Stricker, 4-time VIP, is kind of our personal VIP salesman. We have 11 VIPs on this squad, and 10 of them are in his group. So Dan speaks very highly of the program and all of the benefits, and hard not to see those things add up. Again, just the in and out locker privileges, pretty good deal when you figure $5 a pop, and you're going to go bowl a practice session, hit the BJ a couple times. And then, of course, the convenience of shipping your equipment right to the venue. There's actually lockers at BBE. You can almost take your equipment off the roller at BBE and put it in the locker and not even have to pick up your feet. Certainly easier than lugging it through the airport and into the shuttle and the rental car to the hotel to the venue. A terrific convenience here at the OC since 2004, and with the VIP package, you get a $25 discount in each direction.
All right, another good question in the chat room. I'll forward it your way, Matt. About the rule changes for PBA members entering the Open Championships this year. Now we changed it around a little bit, so.
Well, we haven't changed much this year. Still restricted to anybody in the top 25 on the PBA points list is not eligible for the Open Championships, as well as those who have won PBA national titles in the last 2 seasons. So I think we'll certainly see some players that we haven't seen in a while or may have never seen at the Open Championships who fell outside of that top 25. I don't want to ruin any surprises, but there's a couple that we're looking forward to seeing back on the Open Championships lanes. But if you're curious about the PBA list and how that all shook out, the season runs from January 1st until December 31st. So the 2014 season came to an end. The final points list and all the winners posted on PBA.com. And that kind of segues into some other excitement we had in the off season. The reemergence of the PWBA, Mr. Smith. What can you tell us about that?
The PWBA, 3-year support from the USBC and BPAA. 10-event tour starting in, well, tour technically starts with the USBC Queens in May at the Ashwaubenon Bowling Alley. Hope I got that right. Up in Green Bay. And then just about the time we're finishing up here at the Open Championships, the standard events will be kicking off. We'll have 7 of those, along with the U.S. Women's Open in New Jersey over at Carolier, a very familiar host. Season will end the PBA Tour Championship. That's going to be an exciting one. Invitation only. You got to earn your spot to that one. So, of course, you can go to pwba.com to learn more. We got player profiles up there with some of the big names looking to make a mark on this reemergence. with the PWBA Tour. A lot of great information there, tournament formats, plenty more. So be sure to check that out.
And we started things off here in El Paso last week with a couple of youth events. The future of the sport is bright. More than $13,000 in scholarship money handed out by the local USBC here in El Paso. Followed that up with the High School City Championship as the El Paso area pushes to get high school bowling recognized as a varsity sport. Of course, the fastest growing varsity sport in the country. And I think debuting that city championship in a venue like this might have sealed the deal. So perhaps down the road we'll see high school bowling a little more official here in El Paso, and then all those bowlers can now look forward to great things like the opportunity to bowl on Junior Team USA, the Junior Gold Championships, USBC Youth Open, and for the ladies, the PWBA Tour is back, a 3-year commitment. Something to strive for sure. And for all those that got a taste of the Open Championships experience competing here at the Convention Center, hopefully we'll see them down the road as the next generation of OC participants.
Definitely a great job by, as you mentioned, the local USBC. One of our board members, Carl Keelik, very instrumental in helping all this come along. Of course, you can't mention El Paso and bowling without mentioning the great Gene Calabro, who did so much to get the women's tournament here in 2010. And that really steamrolled after that to continue to bring events like that to El Paso. So I want to thank the all those folks for helping out. High school city championships, our buddy Wayne Thornton, very big in getting that done. So, and we also got to recognize some of the champions during our opening ceremonies from the high school event. So they got to not only bowl on the lanes, they got to experience opening day and be a part of it. So some very cool things going on here, and plenty of more along the way. 126 days before it's all said and done. We want to thank you all for joining us in the chat room today, and we hope we get to see you in El Paso as well.
And we know we're throwing a lot of information at you, but all of that available on bowl.com or through our social media. The official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page, Matt Canizaro USBC, or you can find us on Twitter at USBC Matt, at USBC Aaron. And with the shorter schedule this year, that might even mean some time out of the venue for us. So our chance to go out and enjoy a city I've never been to prior to arriving here just less than a month ago. Aaron Smith has pointed out some of the hot spots after his time here in 2010.
Even then, it's changed a little bit. Seems like downtown a few more options than I recall visiting in 2010. So downtown revitalized with some cool new little places, some very nice restaurants and bars for those of you who enjoy that.
And Aaron, the response that we've received in the general area and around the city, I know most of the folks watching right now are probably already coming our way, and so we don't have to sell them on anything, and we're certainly not trying to do that, but it really is pretty phenomenal, just the amount of calls we get from the local media wanting to come out and see the venue, and the friendliness at the local restaurants. Talked to some of the employees over at the El Paso Chihuahuas just the other day, and sent over a tournament logo. They'd like to recognize the bowlers on the Jumbotron during home games. So I want to get the bowlers over there to check out some minor league baseball and want to thank them while they're there. So a nice partnership there. A terrific coupon book this year. We'll have a sample for you on bowl.com in the coming week or so. But 88 total pages. And a lot of great deals and different things.
Nice game for John Neal. Bounced back after the split in the first frame, 233. Southpaw putting together a few strikes there to end the day.
So Aaron, John was one of the gentlemen that was on the tour yesterday, taking a look around, and Dan Stricker actually told me that the way he looked like he was throwing the ball in the practice session, he thought he was going to have a great time here at the 2015 event. And 233 out of the gate, so Dan was not wrong. See if he can spark something in the rest of the teammates. Again, the number they're shooting for, 2671, currently on top of the leaderboard. And if you want to check out the latest standings, you can visit the Open Championships page on bowl.com, and those updated 3 times each day, so you can see what it's going to take to find success here in 2015.
Well, we have some consistent numbers after game 1 here. 871 and 870.
Saw a question a few minutes ago just about the lane conditions, and for some folks they don't realize that we have different conditions every year, and certainly the goal is to put out a lane condition, or now 2 lane conditions, that are fair and attackable from all different angles and all different styles. You can find success here. But they do vary from year to year. The lengths and volumes are going to be different, so a new challenge each year. You didn't bowl so well last year. Well, you have a chance to try again here on some different conditions. If you did bowl well, well, it's your chance to prove that it wasn't a fluke and do it again on a different condition. So game 1 in the books, 870 and 871. A consistent pair. And both teams ahead of the pace of our leaders. Al's Pro Shop 2 dominated the opening squad of this year's Open Championships, 2671. Still a long way to go, of course. 128 days of competition this year. This is just day 2 for the 7,000 teams coming our way.
Once again, folks, beating us to questions on in the chat room. Jamie Hurley, correct. Matt McNeil, part of Sam Alanto's group, Lynn's Lakers. So we will have them here on Bold TV in early May. Sam, of course, will just a day or two prior get inducted into the USBC Hall of Fame, part of the 2015 class. He'll be joining Gus Yanaris, Matt's good buddy from Wisconsin. Liz Johnson, you might have heard of her. She's not bad. And Larry Lobb is part of the 2015 Hall of Fame class. That'll be at the USBC convention in late April in Omaha, Nebraska.
Always get a little bit amused when we try to trick people, or in our case, sometimes we like to just annoy Jeff Riggles when he's going to be on the live stream and write down everything but his name. And we'll have more for you about that in just a minute. I'm going to go talk to our new assistant tournament manager, James O'Connor.
Hold on a sec. Who's Jeff Riggles?
It's the guy that writes the blog or something.
Okay.
Yeah, read
Gotcha.
the blog.
Of course, Jeff, a very good friend of ours, and enjoy giving him a hard time when we can. So they'll be out here as well, middle of May. We'll have their team event this year. Jeff, part of the very talented 11thframe.com crew. Steve Richter, Mark McDowell, Mike Shady, and Gail Myers Jr.
Aaron, have you already mentioned the fact that we are now in the midst of, or in the presence of live stream royalty? Lucas Wiseman.
Uh-oh.
Lucas Wiseman has joined the chat.
All right, we gotta stop talking about him then.
So my rant before I was asked away was in response to Ben's question about Matt McNeil not being listed on the live stream schedule, but you were going over this year's Hall of Famers, and I'm going to show a little love for Sam Lanto this time around. Just like we always get the question, why isn't Jeff Riggles on the schedule? Well, I would consider him the 4th or 5th most popular person on his team anyway, so last year we had lifetime average leader Gail Myers Jr. This year, we'll just sell the team, 11thframe.com. We're trying to have a good time. That's all we're doing.
That's what it's all about. Hanging out to Sun City, having a good time, enjoying yourself with your teammates on the lanes, throwing a few strikes while you're at it. Lucas, of course, already had the live stream gear up. Hopefully you guys were tuning in to the end of the Music City Classic in Nashville. Lucas showcases the future of the sport through some great collegiate action. Had a real nice schedule this year, and we're wrapping that up with the intercollegiate team championships along with the singles championships coming up in April. I'll be in Wichita, Kansas. I'll actually get to go to help Lucas out for that one, so that'll be exciting. That's eons away right now because it's all about the now. It's all about El Paso.
And Lucas working the crowd for us in the chat room. Right now you're watching lanes 11 and 12 here at the El Paso Convention Center. Your first look at the team event. Big group, 18 teams, all dressed alike. Pride Awards handed out. Dressing for success. And already ahead of the pace to make a run at the leaderboard here early on. Definitely a benefit of bowling early. All these guys got to see opening ceremonies last night. And now could end today doing the finger pointing photo in front of the leaderboard. Aaron, a very important fact that we definitely want to point out about El Paso, and it is continuously ranked among the safest cities in America. I know there's some concerns by the bowlers, but it has been #1 for 3 consecutive years and in the top 3 for 14 years in a row now, I believe. We've seen it. Nothing but friendliness and warm welcomes here in El Paso in our short time here. Looking forward to the next 126 days.
And I know we talked about a lot last year for those of you who tuned in, but just going back to my experience in 2010 at the Women's Championships, the folks here really excited about bowling and excited to have the opportunity to host this event. We were jam-packed in the bleachers here with folks, some of them bowlers, some of them maybe not, but just excited to see the venue, see the completion of what they've been hearing about on the news for the past few weeks. It's just been a very warm welcome for us, and we expect the same for all of our competitors as well. So,
speaking of the news, we have one gentleman from Channel 7 has been out a couple times to talk to us on the record, and we saw him here yesterday for opening ceremonies when he wasn't working. brought the wife out, wanted to see everything kind of get underway, and that's very cool. So I know a lot of folks planning to come this way, have some lunch, watch some bowling, grab a souvenir, maybe an autograph from Aaron Smith.
They're easy to come by. I've gotten really good at the Z's and Cannizzaro though, so get a little worn out from it.
You have the Aaron Smith memorial wall in the hallway, so if he's not here that day, you can take your picture with his picture.
It's true. Nothing says technology like Aaron Smith and Matt Cannizzaro. So Lucas would attest to that. So
I think it definitely would have been a riot for anybody here seeing us put together today's live stream setup.
only one Band-Aid needed.
We got one busted finger and one collapsed table. Other than that, it's like we've done this 100 times. Very nice crowd on hand here in the venue and online. We do appreciate everybody tuning in. Your first look at the team event here at this year's event. Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith. We're live behind lanes 11 and 12. We also have our 3 streaming video cameras up this year. You can find those on the Open Championships page. Check out the action when we're not live on the air, and they will sweep through the venue in 3-minute intervals. You can see different portions of the venue, catch your friends and family while they're bowling. Just another cool feature added to the facility back in 2012. So streaming video is the next big thing. We also have Vendor Row, live and in person here at the Convention Center. All of your favorite brands represented. Got Brunswick, Motive, Storm, Rotogrip, Columbia 300, Hammer, Ebonite, Track.
Good job, Matt.
All right, so definitely come visit. Some familiar faces in the booth and a couple souvenir options as well. Take home a handful of sombreros for all the folks. And yesterday we mixed things up a little bit at our opening ceremonies, and Joe Bowler, we hung up the traditional Cape Crown and Scepter, and it gave Joe Bowler a sombrero and a mariachi vest.
Joe Bowler this year, Chuck Brockett out of Burlington, Iowa. Southpaw got 6 on his opening shot. Went for the spare, thought he had it. They're tough out here this year, so spare shooting at a premium, but Chuck had a blast though. Had a chance to chat with him for a few minutes afterwards and just real excited about the opportunity. He was out here with his son, and it was actually down to him and his son in the squad room, down to the final 2 folks for Joe Bowler. He was hoping his son would get it, but Chuck was the man this year. He'll be forever known as Joe Bowler 2015.
Well, I did run into them in the USBC bowling store earlier today. A small crowd around Joe Bowler. I wanted to get their hellos and congratulations in. And in your chat with Joe last night, you got to talk a little bit about his profession. And I did promise him that the photos and potentially video that we took of him throwing out the first ball last night will make their way to the Jumbotron at the hand of Aaron Smith.
That's true. Chuck, the general manager of the Burlington Bees, a single A affiliate of the Los Angeles Angels. So Chuck's been at that for a few years now, so we'll probably give a nudge to their folks. I'm sure they would wouldn't mind showing some photos of Chuck in the sombrero and vest. I think a few of his teammates were joking, you should throw out the opening pitch on opening day like that. So you never know. The legacy lives on well past here, as well as the memories, Matt Canizaro.
That sounds familiar. I think I read that somewhere.
Ha.
This is the first of nearly 30 broadcasts from the Open Championships this year. And Mark London, he said it right, pull up a chair. He called it the Traveling Roadshow, which I appreciate. It could have been, I guess, the Traveling Sideshow of Matt and Aaron, but it's true.
I'm your traveling sidekick, I know that. But yes, Mark, of course, very supportive. Had a chance to do a few live streams of the Cat Clash back in November with Mark, a very gracious host, along with Don Ellis Jr. and Don Ellis Sr. Senior celebrating tournament number 65 this year in late April.
We just segued perfectly into all the great things to look forward to here in 2015.
That's true, and Mark actually mentioned it as well. Definitely a highlight year for participation and a few big-time records as well. March 18th, Sylvester Thiel, Silva Thrill, coming out of Minnesota to join us here for tournament number 70. Just an amazing fact, or amazing accomplishment too. I guess it is a fact, but we're looking forward to handing out that brand new award. We'll get some pictures of that up on bowl.com once Syl is here. Very cool though. And of course, 1 year away from Joe Norris and Bill Dorman, two USBC Hall of Famers for the all-time participation record of 71 years. And hopefully a week or two after that, William Terrell Lillard, the 8-time Eagle winner. 4 of them in 1956. Looking to set the all-time pinfall record, surpassing Norris. The 123,770 has stood since 2000. It was Joe's last appearance. Bill, less than 900 pins away, 852, I want to say, is the exact number. So I know Matt talked to Bill earlier. We expect him to get in team event, but just in case, we'll have the cameras up for doubles and singles.
Did have a chance to chat with Mr. Lillard just a few days ago, recovering from knee surgery back in October, I believe. And he's out there getting all the games he can in to get comfortable Been a long time coming, 68 consecutive years at the Open Championships, and just 852 pins away from grabbing another piece of history. Have a handful of gentlemen hoping to find their way into the 50-year club. I mentioned Don Ellis going for 65. Anthony Malone scheduled for 65 last year, was unable to make it, hoping to be back here in 2015. A lot of great recognition and awards for our dedicated bowlers. Found out yesterday there's a new 20-year award. It has evolved from a lapel pin to a bag tag, and now a fancy embroidered Open Championships padfolio. Perfect place to keep all your score sheets and pictures from over the years as you make your own marches towards 50 and 60 years.
Stricker's shot runs a little bit high there, leaving the fast 8. Great shot by James Fugit there. Double to match Randall Buda to kick off the 5th frame. Looks like the nerves have settled down a little bit for these guys. Got a few doubles up there. See a question about the march out song this year. Matt, I know you posted a video to our Facebook page, USBC Open Women's Championships, for that. For a sneak peek, you can check it out. Or you could just yell timber.
I see what you did there.
You do? All right. Pretty cool march out video this year by the creative crew and Dektronics. Definitely makes you feel like you're in the Southwest. This whole venue very is showing that off greatly. I mentioned the masking units earlier. Got the blue and orange backdrop, reminiscent of the UTEP Miners. The University of Texas El Paso, very close to the convention center here.
So Aaron, our hard-working Tracy Stewart, walking through the venue here, handing out those pride awards we talked about earlier. Teams are dressed alike, as long as nobody wears jeans. And all these teams, 18 in total, spent some time at the USBC bowling store, it looks like. Got their matching shirts.
Of course, embroidery for some of these teams as well. You could get that done here as well with another guy reaching participation milestone this year, Norm Cummings, number 55. Norm, a long-time worker here, familiar face. Did our job for a while back in the day, and him and his son Steve handling photos and videos here.
And you mentioned photos and videos. Also, nice little packages set up for our VIPs and our Captain's Club members. So for those bowlers who want to remember these moments vividly, they can have a DVD of their participation or some team photos, perhaps individual photos on the stub lane. Get a couple warm-up shots back in the squad room too. Special discount on those items for the VIPs and Captain's Club members. So a lot of great incentives. If you add up all the pieces of that VIP package, definitely worth the $229. You can just start by talking about the team practice session. $150 value for you and up to 9 teammates. And then of course the in and out locker access, singles entry into the Bowlers Journal Championships, and the 40 frame game. $25 discount. Fancy VIP jersey. That includes the El Paso Horizon. Nice souvenir there.
Very cool. And Matt, we're working all these great segues in. You mentioned the showcase lanes, $150 for you and 9 of your teammates. For some folks, maybe you just brought one team out this year and you still want to get out there and practice and figure out a game plan. Well, new for this year, you can rent one lane up to 5 folks, $75 for the hour. So for those of you who unable to find a companion team, we'll give you a break there and give you a chance to get out on the showcase lanes. Of course, on the, you can't call it the low end of the house, but since we go 1 to 52, and then, but it's on the, from where we're at, we're behind 11 and 12. It's the far left of the facility.
Well, I would actually call it the low end. To the left of lane number 1.
You're from Florida, though. I had nothing else to go with that, so.
But thanks to Brock Kowalski and the design team at USBC, there's plenty of signage inside the venue to get you everywhere you need to go. And the tournament employees this year wearing neon green shirts. So hard to miss those guys walking through the venue. Always glad to help if you have a question. And again, if you want to reach out in advance with any questions, you can find us here in the chat room on any of our live stream broadcasts or on Facebook, Twitter at USBC Matt, at USBC Aaron, by email or by phone. For those of you just joining us, again, thank you. Our first broadcast of the year. Testing out the new setup here. We are behind lanes 11 and 12 at the El Paso Convention Center. Checking out the team event. This year's team lane condition, 38 feet. You can check out the graph on bowl.com. Go to the Open Championships page, click on the lane conditions tab. You can also see a terrific video put together by Jason Thomas with some help from a familiar face, Chris Barnes. He's an Eagle winner, hasn't been around for a couple years, out there winning titles on the PBA Tour, but still holds some fond memories of this event. And he's on the video to give you some tips on this year's lane conditions. Again, team event, 38 feet. That's what we're watching right now. And as we've mentioned, join the Facebook group, the official Open and Women's Championships page. A lot of great information posted there throughout the year. Often little video snippets, some trivia, some polls, contests, kinds of excitement, so you'll be in the know.
AMF Co. 1. Starting to find the right look here. Middle of game number 2.
And some inquiries about how these gentlemen found themselves on the live stream schedule. And that is certainly a long and in-depth process that we go through. It's already started for next year, as a matter of fact. We do maintain a list of either talented or interesting bowlers as they come through this year's event. Also noting when they come through. We want to keep the coverage balanced and spread out throughout the event, especially early on, so everybody can tune in and see what's what. And this group, again, 18 teams, always bowling right around the start of the tournament. And they really demonstrate everything that is traditional and special here at the Open Championships. Take advantage of all there is to offer inside the venue. You know, we've talked about their matching uniforms. In this group of 18 teams, 10 VIPs taking advantage of that. And because he has 18 teams, Mr. Costello, a Captain's Club member. And at the same time, they're great bowlers from around the country, many from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, either now or at some point. And I think this gives us an opportunity to talk about all the great things available in 2015. And it gives the extra competitive, serious bowlers out there a chance to see bowling balls go down the lane on this 38-foot lane condition. And we're always looking for new and interesting live stream possibilities. We always try to get all of our defending champions, and this year hoping to showcase again Mr. Lillard as he makes his run at the career pinfall record. If you have any suggestions along the way, certainly send us a note. And sometimes it's all about timing. If there's conflicts with other events, Lucas Wiseman always globe-trotting, covering different things. You know, we'll have some USBC events along the way too, the USBC Queens, the X-Bowling Intercollegiate Team and Singles Championships. So sometimes there's date conflicts, sometimes a lot of great bowlers all come at once. We mentioned earlier, all of our defending champions will be here in the month of April, and it happened to work out where there were no conflicts there. We'll get to see all of them. So some lucky timing there, but a lot of great bowlers that we'd love to show, but sometimes the timing just doesn't work out.
Certainly excited for the Bill Lillard broadcast, though. We had a lot of excitement with Bob Hart, the USBC Hall of Famer, coming back from some health issues to make his last year 58, I believe, for Bob. His 58th appearance, and had a great showing. Bob Hart, of course, a great ambassador of the sport. And he was actually out here for the Special Olympics along with Jimmy Schroeder to help cheer on the athletes and hand out some awards. So always great to see those guys early on. Got a chance to talk with Mr. Schneider for about 10 minutes. Or Schroeder, excuse me. Jim Schroeder. But yeah, certainly always awesome to hear from those folks, see those folks year in and year out, and along with Marty Allen and everyone else. You know, we talked about some of the local El Paso folks getting a chance to come out here early, but also had the Special Olympics National Unified Tournament for the 25th consecutive year. That was a big milestone for them. They've helped to kick off the Open Championships every year since 1991 in Toledo, Ohio. Marty Allen and his crew always fun to see and put on a great event. So they're already looking forward to the 2016 event in Reno, Nevada, and you can too. Registration already open. So get those, get your times taken care of early on here.
Well, we'll see those guys again down the road here. They'll be back to bowl. And no doubt they're also looking forward to 2016. That will be number 60 for Bob Hart. And one of the nicest guys in the sport. And one of our most successful live streams ever at the Open Championships. Watching Bob go for 100,000 pins. The word spread very quickly about his run at 100,000 pins. There's a contingent of about 50 folks there from Storm Bowling Products with the I'm All Heart t-shirts. Very celebrated occasion. Had a nice little party for Bob after the fact. And we had a countdown on the Facebook page and videos along the way with each shot, each strike as he approached 100,000 pins. So if you're not a member of that Facebook group, you missed out. And we'll have some great moments this year. You don't want to miss out again in 2015, so keep an eye on that. And we've learned over the last couple of years that people love little videos and different moments caught and shared on Facebook, so we'll have as many of those as we can. Right now you're watching the tail end of game number 2 here on the 5 p.m. team event. Day number 2 of 128. And a couple strikes starting to add up here on our scoreboards. Leading team after opening day, 2671, Al's Pro Shop 2 from Minnesota.
They actually bowled the opening weekend last year and grabbed the early lead as well, so talking to Derek Rude, also currently in second in all events. Says that's one of the perks of coming out early in the tournament, get a chance to help break in the leaderboard, and always a fun photo opportunity. I know we talked about that a little bit earlier today.
just a couple questions about the lane condition, not specifically, but in general. This year's lane conditions are sport bowling certified, which means that the ratio of oil from the middle to the outside part of the lane, 3-to-1 or less. And as some folks were talking about in the chat room there, the actual ratios even less than 2-to-1. So a little bit flatter and definitely challenging. So make sure to practice. You're going to have to make good shots, make your spares. Always the key to success, but even more so at the Open Championships on the big stage.
Great shot there by Jerry Inkenbrandt to finish off 3 in a row. Foundation frame moments away here in game number 2.
Aaron, I believe PBA Regional Champion Chip McKee might be watching today's live stream broadcast too. Hasn't said much officially, but it appears.
Well, he actually messaged me on Facebook about that. He said he had the sound off, so
I totally don't blame him there.
I told him he's a smart man. And now a 2-time regional champ.
He's a live stream veteran as well. He's one of the few people in Open Championships live stream history to be on both sides of the camera. A very elite club. Chip McKee, Matt McNeil, Jeff Riggles, Mark London. We've had Gail Myers Jr. on a couple times. Dave Armstrong stopped by one time, I believe. Some familiar names.
Chatted with one of his teammates earlier today. Horton Nation checking in, seeing about making sure there was a live stream today. So
Aaron, some strikes piling up here on lane 12. Things looking pretty good here in game number 2.
James Fugit will be up on lane 11 in just a second after Randall attempts to take care of the singleton, looking for 6 in a row. James out of Grapevine, Texas. Had his best year ever last year, 1940, including 712 in singles, so he's making his 15th tournament appearance. Definitely got to feel some confidence coming back after a nice year like that. You're going to get to experience that in June yourself after putting up a solid performance at the 2014 event, Mr. Cannizzaro.
Well, I've found a way somehow to surround myself with talented players and just don't want to embarrass myself. Makes you work a little bit harder. 100% sure I'm going to be the 9th or 10th best bowler in that group, and that's okay. That means everybody will be watching other people. Last year did
coattails
have
Cannizzaro.
That's it. Ride the coattails. Last year had the opportunity to be a part of history as our companion team, led by Terry Rohr. Shot 13-18. Second game of the team event. Highest game in tournament history. Very cool to be a part of that. I'm not going to say it took away any focus for me, but I'll always have that story. And we got the word out firsthand from the Settee area. We'll have those guys back in town again June 19th and 20th this year. And Terry is campaigning to find a way to get on the live stream. He loves the attention.
Well, with a nickname like Philball, who wouldn't?
Definitely a memorable day overall from start to finish. And Aaron had a front row seat to Terry Philball roar.
Oh, that's my send-off? Oh, okay.
That is your cue.
Oh, all right. We'll have to work on this. The first one of the year, folks. So still working the kinks out. But
it's like ping pong, but with the words.
I see what you did there. See, that made total sense. Well, all right, here we go. Terry Rohr started his day off after getting into town after some travel issues. First thing he did was come and bowl the Bowler's Journal, which was on the high end of the National Bowling Stadium last year. Proceeded to roll a 299 in there. Had some more fun experiences. We won't necessarily get into all those right now, but came back a little bit later in the day, fired another 299, and ended up finishing, well, he finished second and third, but him and two of his other teammates, Zeke Bate, our 2013 regular singles champion, and J.R. Raymond, who won an Eagle a few years back. Actually took the top spot in doubles. And then Terry teamed up with both of those guys to get second and third. They put on a show, just making it happen. And then, of course, as you mentioned, Terry, the anchor for that Team Turbo Grips 13-18, had the front 11, third time that day. Only managed 298 that time.
Couldn't get it done. He's a quitter.
So his teammates passed along the moniker Philball.
I already told Mark London, we don't put quitters on the live stream. So I couldn't go back on that and put Terry Rohr on after he quit 3 times in one day.
That's true. Hopefully someone is letting Terry Rohr know about all this on his Facebook page, so you can get some more phone calls after this, man.
So all right, we'll be here for one more hour. Game 2 coming to a close, and things looking real good on lane 12 here. It's like just 3 holes the entire game. A lot of strikes up there, filling frames and putting up a decent number here in game number 2. 871 in the opener, already ahead of the pace of our tournament leader, Alice Pro Shop 2. 2671.
Yeah, 1,000 definitely out there. Still have to get used to the system again. I think Randall can get up to .214. I think his teammates can add on another 240 on top of that. So that's, of course, my rough Indiana math. So I'll get better. We'll have this down pat by April. See if Randall can double up here. little light. Unable to tickle the two, as Lucas Wiseman would say. Of course, referring to that exciting moment at the 2014 Senior Masters, Walter Ray Williams Jr. needing a strike to seal the deal over Jack Jurek. Comes in light. Looked like it was going to be 6 for a second. Turned into 7, turned into 8, and all of a sudden, down goes the 2, and Walter Ray adds another title to the resume.
All right, Mr. Smith, as we watch Game 2 coming to a close here, let's rally the troops and let's cheer on Dan Stricker here. No strikes in Game 2.
Well,
see if we can get one here on the fill ball. Little momentum going into Game 3.
We know Terry wouldn't get that strike, so we'll have to rely on Dan here.
Stricker, a good guy, loves the Open Championship so much, in fact, that he's already got his application on file for when he retires from his real job. He would love nothing more than to come work as a traveler at the Open Championships. Work 5 or 6 months a year, travel the rest of the year. Spends a lot of time overseas competing.
Looks good. There you go, Danny. Smile on his face for that one, so. .240 still out there for James. Bouncing back nicely. 140 in the opener. 148 to be exact, so it's leading the charge here in game number 2 for AMFCO number 1.
All right, so for anybody just tuning in, this is Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith, and we are live at the 2015 USBC Open Championships here in El Paso, Texas. The event's first trip to Sun City in 112 years of competition. And we couldn't have found a more welcoming city and a nicer venue. 62 lanes, 52 for the Open Championships, 10 showcase lanes for practice and the Bowlers Journal Championships. A lot going on under one roof. Great food and drinks. A lot of bowling to be done. Even a nice food and drink area outside the venue, so you can enjoy 1 or 2 of the 300 days of sunshine here in El Paso. Things kicked off yesterday with opening ceremonies. You can read all about that on bowl.com. Also had a little video action on the official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page. Make sure to join that group so you can see some of the behind the scenes stuff. This event will run until July 12th. 128 days of competition. Still time to enter, so visit bowl.com for more information about that. It took 64 days to put this venue together, from the time the trucks rolled in to the ribbon cutting yesterday. And day 2 nearly is complete. Still a long way to go. A lot of great teams to come through, many of which will be broadcast live on Bowl TV. We did post the schedule on the Open Championships page on bowl.com, or you can check out bowl.com/livestream for all of the upcoming live stream events from us and Lucas Wiseman.
Devin Braun finishes up 193. Anchor Jerry Ankenbrandt working on 4 in a row. Get to 237 still. That would give AMF Co. number 1 1,058. Unable to trip the 4 though on the first offering. These guys are still going to correct the 1,000 mark. Might be the first one all year, so gotta get that first one sometime. Might as well do it on Bowl TV. Finishes up with the last 3, 202 to go with a 233 in the opener. The lefty out of Virginia. Looking good so far. .216 for Ankenbrandt gives him a 1037. Robert Raymond will finish up game number 2, 181 with a strike. It's a way to finish it off for 895.
Certainly appreciate all the kind words and support, and it's glad to be back, or we're glad to be back, showing off our venue here in El Paso and the 2015 USBC Open Championships. A lot of great action in the next 126 days. Make sure to find us, like us, subscribe. Don't want you to miss any of the news and notes from this year's event. Dan Stricker figured something out on the fill ball. Game number 2. Starts game 3 of the strike. I think they call that momentum. Right now, on lane 12. Games of 871 and 1037. These gentlemen on their way to the top of the leaderboard. If you missed any of today's broadcast, you can check that out in the archives on Bowl TV. We'll typically tune in about halfway through practice and then get things started with the sound of the bell. This is our first look at the team event and 38-foot team pattern this year. I'm sure many bowlers at home taking notes, getting ready to come our way. Great shot there by the left-hander, Craig Schneider. 3 for 3. So Baja Betty's trying to rally. I have a feeling no matter how this turns out, this 18-team group is going to be out and about partying in El Paso. A lot of great food and drinks nearby. So far, it's looking like it's going to be a celebration. Back-to-back left-handers there, throwing the ball very well. And we do know a lot of people like to tune in to see where everybody's playing, what they're throwing. A little hard to tell from here, but with social media, I'm sure many of our bowlers on our broadcast will share the details of their success via Facebook and Twitter. A lot of times that info is out there before we get a chance to even spread the word. So who knows? They could already be talking about game 1 and game 2 out there in the Facebook world. But from way back here, everything kind of looks the same. You know, I'm getting old. My eyesight's not so good anymore.
You are getting up there. Back in your day.
I do believe I've started a sentence or two that way this week. Back in my day, this is tournament number 11. I was just a kid back when I started in Baton Rouge in 2005.
Well, when you start sentences like that, I know you're imparting wisdom my way, so I appreciate that.
Live streaming was just a dream back then.
Yeah, you've gone through the revolution of social media and the live stream setup that required a small moving team to something even I can carry around to all over the United States now. So
yeah, back then, under the tutelage of Lucas Wiseman. We didn't have Facebook or Twitter or live stream. We didn't even have a video camera back then.
So what'd you do with all your time?
Well, on his way out every day, Lucas made it perfectly clear that if I did not have a story waiting for him when he arrived in the morning, there would be trouble. So I walked up and down the concourse, and I made sure to find a story just about every night of that 2012 event.
2012?
2005. The same city though. So 2005, we had 12 perfect games. And
no 800s.
And no 800s. So honor scores were not the topic of the day very often. But we made it work, and I was invited back in 2006. But I guess Lucas had such a miserable time working with me that he never came back. He moved on to different things within the organization, and now he is the globetrotter that we all know today. And our responsibilities have evolved. Now we've got all the social media, video, live streaming, supboards. And here in El Paso, we actually have some media relations. We had Channel 7 out here at the start of this broadcast, going live at 5 from the tournament venue. So very cool to see that. Actually headed right from here to the studio to have our tournament director, Dwayne Hagan, on the Sunday evening news to talk about the event and its impact here in Sun City. Looking at $75 to $100 million being pumped into the local community while we're here. We already got that started with the purchase of many of the materials that you'll see when you're inside the venue.
When it's all said and done, we'll tear down and hope to give back to the community as well. If we can have someone, organization, help out with this salvageable parts, certainly love to see that go into the community. I know in 2010, the teardown here had some help from Habitat for Humanity, so we really do become part of the community here, and so far so good from our side of the booth.
Well, we've had team members in town since December, getting ready to unpack things, get the venue set up. Construction guys worked tirelessly throughout January and February to get things ready in time for opening day. And now more than 50 of us in town until July, renting apartments, obviously shopping in the stores, eating at the restaurants, and bringing nearly 40,000 of our closest friends, plus their friends, to El Paso. And I think the hazing rituals at the airport. Don't tell the new guy that the bowlers are coming. And with each bowler comes an average of 3 bowling balls and as many as 8. I would love to see the look on the new guy's face right around this time as the first few hundred bowlers come to town.
Baja Betty's taking a page out of AMF Co's book to start game 3 here. 8 out of 10 strikes to start. A few opens early on for AMF Co number 1 after breaking the 1,000 mark, 10:37 in game 2. So those practice sessions, spend the time at the showcase lanes looking to pay off a little bit here. The final 2 games.
And a handful of these gentlemen not only took advantage of the showcase lanes, having their own practice sessions, but they watched some of the other practice sessions.
Four-pin does not trip for Dan there.
Again, if you're curious about the live stream schedule from this year's event, you can find that on the Open Championships page on bowl.com. Just look for the picture of the handsome gentleman with the headsets on. Click on that, and it'll take you to the full schedule for this year. And you can check out all of the upcoming live stream broadcasts, bowl.com/livestream, or on the main page in the bottom right-hand corner. I feel like we've put together a pretty solid list of experienced players, past champions, up-and-coming talent, definitely the future of the sport. Curious about the scores so far at the 2015 event. So 1 day in the books. Team event yesterday. First 2 doubles and single squads earlier today. Check out the leaderboards on the Open Championships page.
You can also check those out from the description below the video here on YouTube. Have that, the Open and Women's Facebook page, and of course the Open Championship page on bowl.com, your one-stop shop for everything OC. Of course, thanks for joining us here on Bowl TV today, youtube.com/BowlTV. Be sure to subscribe to our channel here. We appreciate the support, and of course the support on social media as well. Sport of Bowling is on Facebook, facebook.com/USBC, Twitter @USBC, and of course the granddaddy of them all, bowl.com.
And finally, Mr. Smith, an appearance from one of our favorite fans, Chris Shipman, checking in the chat room.
How's it going, Chris?
Curious about some lane play and some strategy. And from our perch here atop the bleachers, some things a little more difficult to see than others. Probably won't focus too much attention on explaining what's happening, as we're not exactly championship caliber bowlers. But we'll let the balls going down the lane speak for themselves, I guess, most of the time. And from time to time we'll have on special guests, past champions, experts, for analysis of what they are seeing.
Yeah, we wouldn't have noticed that Mark London gassed that last shot of his 299, so.
Well, who are we to judge?
That's true. We weren't out there. Right, Mark? Nice pickup there from Mr. Stricker.
So, Aaron, as we said, a lot of bowlers like to come through, and they're pretty forthcoming with the information once they post their scores and head out and talk to the people back home and talk about their choices and arsenals and performances. Often before we get a chance to tell the stories ourselves. It's okay though, we've taken it as a challenge.
Let's change the process, and it's all about adapting here at the Open Championships. Have to adapt to 2 different lane patterns. So we will adapt to the changing way the news makes it out into the world. Do our best to get up there as soon as possible.
So Mr. Smith looking around, not seeing too many huge scores here, at least on this end of the venue. We're behind lanes 11 and 12. And lanes 51 and 52 awfully far away. We might have to break out the old binoculars again. So we'll definitely see a shakeup in the leaderboards. Of course, this is just the 2nd team squad of the year. There are a lot of classified teams on this squad too. A lot of 700s out there. Sure, the rest of our team in the venue will keep us informed of anything that might be going on score-wise as the score sheets pop out.
Our next live stream will be next Sunday. I believe starting at that same 5 o'clock time. I'm going to go to bull.com/livestream myself and double check. But we definitely see a lot of teams early on, obviously a lot of jockeying on the leaderboard. Waiting for that big score to be set. Town and Country Lanes has kind of come in and done that the past 2 years. The team and team all events portion. So we're going to have them starting at 5 p.m. local time, 7 p.m. Eastern next Sunday. Very talented group out of Wisconsin. It seems like we say that a lot, but they're good at that. And making cheese and rooting on a football team I'm not very fond of, but the Wisconsin presence always well appreciated here. And we will see them next week. Same time, same channel, Bull TV. We'll have to work on our pronunciations for that one. I'd have to call in Eric Pearson for a few lessons in Wisconsin name talk and city talk.
That's true. Mr. Pearson back with us here at the Open Championships, heading up the lane maintenance crew. Although, after seeing those Patriot Flex lane machines go down the lane during the break, those guys have it easy. Machines do all the work. Hardest working employees here at the Open Championships.
Of course, Kegel, one of our gold sponsors, one of the new looks on our Open Championship set this year. In the almost bottom right-hand corner, we have our gold industry partners, Columbia 300 Hammer Kegel and Storm. We want to thank them for their continued support of this event.
So again, just want to thank everybody for tuning in and sticking with us throughout today's broadcast. Some familiar names checking in and checking out throughout the broadcast. John Ellerhorst spent some time with us on the championship lanes back in the day. Has been a wealth of information this afternoon. Getting our first look at this 62-lane venue, the biggest in Open Championships history. 112 years now. And a little bit of trivia if you want to stump some of your friends who chose not to tune in today. Trick question. How many lanes are inside the venue here in El Paso? Aaron Smith is raising his hand.
Oh, does that mean I can answer it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. It's like I'm back at Highland High School all over again. 63.5 is the number this year. Should we give the folks a chance in the chat room to guess how we get there?
Put the challenge out there. Let's see if they can figure that one out and then stump their friends later.
So once again, 63.5 lanes. Give us the breakdown. Matt Canizaro will save your name on live stream. How about that?
I believe our friend Dave Waswo also stopped by to say hello. Had a chance to do his radio show, The Bowler Show, earlier today, and have a weekly appearance on there every Sunday afternoon. Just one more opportunity to talk about bowling and the Open and Women's Championships. Always a pleasure to do that, get the word out.
All right, folks have gotten part of it right. They have figured out the half. So where is that other lane hidden?
yesterday during the tour when I imparted this wisdom on those folks about the actual number of lanes here. We also chatted about next year's event at the National Bowling Stadium in Reno. One of the gentlemen enjoying his first time here in 2015. Next year will be his first visit to the NBS. And tried to trick that group. There are 78 competition lanes upstairs at the NBS, yet the lane inside the pro ship area is lane 81. Nobody ever asked what happened to lanes 79 and 80. I'm not gonna tell you.
Oh, I know the answer.
Yeah. Nobody ever asked.
All right, if no one has it by the 6th frame, should I spoil it for everybody?
Well, I don't know that you're spoiling it so much as spreading the knowledge.
Take a few more guesses here.
It's relatively new to the Open Championships landscape. Actually, the concept introduced for the first time in 2013. And of course, that was the year that we went to fresh oil for every squad. It's certainly been a work in progress here at the Open Championships. It was only 2003 when the schedule changed to allow for fresh oil for both team events. And then a decade later, the introduction of 2 different lane conditions and fresh oil for every single squad. And we know that the lane crew is fast. The lane machines are the best in the business. To get the place oiled and ready 5 times a day, sometimes in 30 minutes or less, takes a little bit of extra help. I do see the answer posted in the chat room. I believe Mr. Smith just saw it as well.
Well, it was tiptoed around. How about that? Which one are we talking about, though? I kind of zone out every once in a while when you start talking like that. So, but since we are waiting for Robert Raymond here, Joe Christen was close.
Well, just
but we do need the burn lane, so there is
a few posts before that. Scott
I missed that one.
actually said, is there a burn lane behind the scenes for the flex?
That is
exactly right.
That is the extra lane in between the showcase lanes and main 52 competition lanes.
That gives them a chance to run the machines once or twice, get things going, get the oil flowing. In Reno, they call that burn alley. That way, when it's time, they bring the lanes out, or bring the machines out to get things ready. They can go immediately. No time wasted. 5 machines. Get right to business. And if you missed any of today's broadcasts, you can find it later tonight on Bowl TV, youtube.com/Bowl TV. A couple decent scores being put up here on 11 and 12 by Baja Betties and AMF Co 1.
Yeah, definitely have settled in here at the El Paso Convention Center.
All right, Aaron, our day is now complete. Our live stream booth, Twitter and Facebook post now with the Brad Smith seal of approval. Thank you, older Mr. Smith, for checking things out. Keeping an eye on the little guy. Do my best to keep him in line.
Well, that's just crazy talk.
It's like a second job sometimes.
Keep things interesting, that's what it's called. Just trying to keep you young, Matt, that's all. Just taking a glance on Facebook right now, we're seeing a few posts about El Paso. Nick Cocanos shot a 300 last year, booked his flight. Let's see if he can put on a repeat performance. Zeno Garcia, 37 days. He's already counting down till they put their title on the line here. Friend from back home, Dave Latta Jr. checking in.
Where does the time go, Aaron Smith? Feels like we were just thinking skinny, trying to set up today's live stream. And now we're just a couple frames away from being all done.
That's true, man. It goes by quick when you're having fun. And I think we I thank all our viewers today for offering a very lively chat room, and we definitely appreciate that. We do our best to get to as many questions and comments as we can. So we hope we were at least partially helpful.
I think we may not be able to offer very much insight about actual bowling, but when it comes to coffee, craft beer, or where to eat dinner. You know the right place to come. You want to know about lane play and strategy? Read the blog.
Forgot the hashtag.
I want to do all the work for the guy.
That's true.
If you're looking for an old-fashioned good time or a nice dinner after competition, swing by the media office, and as long as you're inviting us, we'll let you know where the hot spots are.
Should be another challenge this year. Find the media office at the
That
Paso
depends.
Convention
Depends,
Center.
Mr. Smith.
Huh.
Do we want to be found?
It's a good question.
Team event coming to a close. We see USBC logos across the house. That means folks are getting done. We've already been alerted to lanes 39 and 40. I already see a 4-digit score in game 3. Looks like game 1 was 912, game 2 940-ish, and already over 1,000. A lot of strikes in game 3. After we get cleaned up here, we'll certainly take a look at the leaderboards and the highlights from today's squad, and perhaps give you a recap maybe for today just in the Facebook group. So if you haven't been there, the official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page, go there, like it, and you'll know what happened on the lanes today. Currently on top, 26-71 leading score after yesterday's opening squad. High game there, 928. Al's Pro Shop 2. No doubt we'll have a new leader here on our second day of competition. So who will it be?
AMFCO 1 in good position to run past that number here, but of course from the live stream booth, all unofficial. Because A, we're poor at math, and B, we don't see very well anymore. Matt, I think we got a pretty awesome question from Ben Leong. He's been asking a lot of stuff tonight. Which live stream are you looking forward to covering the most this year? I know we enjoy covering all of them, but certainly a few exciting ones coming up. I know we mentioned it a little bit earlier. Definitely looking forward to watching Mr. Bill Lillard a little bit later this year as he looks to surpass the great Joe Norris in the all-time pinfall list. Less than 900 pins away. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to have a lot of fun ones here. I'm kind of excited about going back to Reno for the Women's Championships. Have some exciting ones there. Always a fun group with Linda Barnes, Tennille Milligan, Shannon O'Keefe, and Kendra Gaines. They're going to go put their team title on the line after putting on a show last year, so I'll be borrowing the equipment for a few days in case you're looking for it. Hop on a plane and go party in the biggest little city.
a lot of great bowlers on the schedule, and again, a good mix of past champions. Saw some VIPs and very dedicated bowlers today. We'll see some experience in Bill Lillard. No doubt, potential for another magical moment on Bowl TV. Got some familiar names, some new names. Youngsters, oldsters, a little bit of everything. So looking forward to the whole year. Yes, I just made up a word.
Oldsters, everybody.
Oldsters.
For clarification or definition, please visit Matt Cannizzaro and ask for a follow-up on Facebook and Twitter.
Still nearly 500 folks in the chat room, online, checking things out. We appreciate it. Looks like everything went well throughout this team event. Pretty decent scores. Hopefully everybody learned a little bit and got a look at what they were hoping to see. But again, and we'll say it every time, you're going to find success here at the Open Championships. Make good shots, practice, work hard, and make your spares. Right down on lane 39, score of 28.94. So they raised the bar quite a bit here in the team event in the regular division. Previous leader 26.71. New leader for the moment 28.94.
28.94. We'll jot that down. We'll see if they can still get there. Strong foundation frame, and 3 in a row from Jim Costello can help them get there. 28.94. Was that it?
28.94. Nice little push there. Big last game.
All right, I have a question for Mark London. Can I say raisins since I'm from the Midwest? Or do I have to be a regional guy? Am I barred because I don't bowl regionals? Mark, let me know.
Question in the chat room from Woo-ha! Have I bowled on the pattern yet? If so, how does it compare to the regional I bowled in Tavares, Florida? I have not. I actually didn't even really look at the graph until today. At 38 feet. Eventually, I will start practicing somewhere nearby, I'm sure. And then, of course, when my team comes to town, take advantage of the showcase lanes. Maybe get the spare ball ready. Again, we saw a handful of missed single pins on today's broadcast, and certainly don't want to give away pins that way. So that will be the first thing I work on, but I still have a long way to go before June.
All right, my quick math for AMF Co. 1. Still have a 29.91 out there. And if on day 2 that's right, I'd be impressed. So let's see if they can throw 15 strikes here. 28.94, our unofficial clubhouse leader. Now we'll see if Dan Stricker can finish up here. The 4-time VIP. He said he's not ready to finish up yet. Enjoying the spotlight too much. Putting together a nice game here. 245 still out there. Conversion for Dan can give him to the 223 for a max score. Randall 201. Mixes him up for a very consistent day on the lanes. 203, 204, 201. Sounds like 608 to me.
I trust you, Mr. Smith. You're the numbers guy. You always do your homework. And if you ever need a restaurant review, that's where I sign. So we both know our roles here in this booth. Dan Stricker, big finish.
223 gets him to 568. James can get to 190 still. 182 for Brian. .583 for James Fugit. Nice finish for Brian there. Final 3 strikes on the live stream for 182.
So again, a nice 18-team group here, brought together by Jim Costello. Just want to give him a shout out and a thank you for all the hard work. A member of our Captain's Club. Go to bull.com/Captain's Club to see what Jim received in appreciation of all of his hard work. And now, coming at you live from lanes 11 and 12 here at the El Paso Convention Center, the gentleman who led the team that built this place, Andy Zumwalt. Just Give us a big thumbs up on his performance today before he leaves town. And now he's gone. If you see him out and about, again, Greg Moore, the big man in charge of putting this venue together, but Andy, his right-hand man.
Nice finish for Jim there. 237 for 595 after a pair of 179s. Andy Zumwalt says they're tough.
Aaron, before we disappear for the day, we certainly want to thank our gold partners, Columbia 300, Hammer, Kegel, and Storm, for all the support at this year's Open and Women's Championships. Unofficially, top score on the leaderboard so far through 2 squads, 28.94.
It's a big double from Devin Braun there. They're going to have a shot to go around there. 2,900 still out there. Be up to Jerry Ankenbrandt. He can add 90 onto whatever Devin finishes with here. Working on a double. Nice finish for Devin. Gets to 540. Here's Jerry. Great shot to kick off the 10th. Looks like they found a little hold there.
Well, our viewers got their money's worth today. Things are getting quiet across the house. 52 lanes here for the main event. And we're down to our last 2 pairs.
Make it 4 in a row for Jerry. And just like that, we brought you your new team leaders right here on Bowl TV.
It's a pretty good guess on our part.
Every once in a while.
A nice, entertaining broadcast. We got to talk about all of the great programs and different things happening here at the El Paso Convention Center. And you got to see the first 2,900 of the year. If you missed any of today's broadcast, you can check out the archives, youtube.com/BowlTV. We'll get to the final individual scores shortly, and we'll also post that on the official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page.
So 29-36 the number. One more shot here from Robert Raymond. Their companion team. Oh no, we're all done. I lied, I'm sorry. 198 in the books for Robert Raymond. Give them 925, got stronger every game for 2690.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for today's broadcast. The first of the year from the 2015 USBC Open Championships here at the El Paso Convention Center. We got to see our team leaders emerge live on Bowl TV. Remember to follow us on Facebook, the official Open and Women's Championships Facebook page. Find us individually on Twitter, at USBC Matt, at USBC Aaron. We'll be back same time next week with our next live stream broadcast. You can find all the details, news and notes on bowl.com. Folks, that's the news for now. We'll see you on the lanes.